activity as a rally coach with your shoulder partner. There are 5 pieces at the bottom, but you do need to read the top portion in order to understand. These are different than context clues, but it's still a very important word analysis strategy that we need to know about. While we're waiting, begin reading about homographs on your paper with your shoulder partner.
We need one more. A homograph is a word that has the same spelling as another word, but it has a different meaning. Here are some ball homographs. Okay, well, I'll read the first one.
All right, for homographs are things that have the same spelling as another word, but it has a completely different meaning. So the reason we need to know about context clues, so we know what word they're talking about, right? So if we look at some of these, ball and ball. A ball could be like a sphere, like the earth. Another ball could be like a dance, like a fancy dance or like a fancy party you would go to.
They're spelled the same but mean different meanings.
Oh, but they have different meanings. Yeah. Well, that's kind of confusing. How do I know which one I want? I use it the context clues. High five, please. A sphere. What is your definition? Sphere. Sphere. A lot of you played that at recess today. I talked to you about it, right? You tried to trick me with football when you really played soccer? Did they really mean the same thing? So funny.
In England, it's football.
That's right. All right, number 3, 4, and 5. I want you to take a solo right, all by yourself. Right, what the definition is, using the words at the top. I want you to get as far as you can in 1 minute, and then we're going to share back and forth with a partner. Okay, pencil down. You're going to go with a partner. I'm going to play music. You stop. You pair up. You compare. I'm going to play music again. You stop. You pair up. You compare. Mixed pair shares what we're going to do. When the music plays, I need you to dance. Stand up. Move around. Get some energy to your brain. Team B, when you're done sharing once, I know you're ready. Team B. Get our iPads ready. We are going to review what we talked about yesterday, and I have graded your main idea and details sheets, as well as some of your questions, and you guys did fantastic. You really understood the story. You took the time to cite your evidence. Some of you went the extra mile and had quotes. If you are done, I want you to be reviewing from yesterday, page 6 through 12. If you're waiting quietly, reread page 6 through 12. Thanks. Okay, we're going to go to page 13. What page? 13. So we're going to start reading about the flood. So yesterday we talked about extreme weather and 3 natural disasters that we were going to listen for. I need iPads tipped upside down. I need eyes on me, showing me good listening. So let's put this into perspective with like white top. And it has a question and you're like, well, I can't find this information. I don't know what to do. Guess where the answer might be? In the text, in the captions. Where else?
In pictures.
In the pictures. In the sidebars. They're going to be in those text features. So are those important?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we have 2 things that we need for good reading. The text and text features in order to understand. One more time, we need the text and text features in order to understand. So when we're looking at text features, that's what we're going to be talking about today because a lot of that information is very important for good reading. And if we don't understand the reading, the pictures help us, the headings help us. Yesterday, the heading actually gave us the main idea and everything else was a detail to support. So today, when we talked yesterday, you guys read about a natural disaster with cyclones. And we talked about how there's going to be 3 natural disasters. Tulia, do we need a click down? Show me good listening. if we have 3 natural disasters and it's organized in a way that the author did on purpose, he talked about extreme weather, and then there was 3 paragraphs and 3 pictures. Good job. Read the heading. This is the
Hang He
Flood. One more time. The Hang He Flood. Where might Hang He be? Dinah, what makes you think that? Oh, so that's why they included the map. Should I use it?
Yes.
Sure. Put your finger on where you see where the flood might have taken place. What is Hang He?
It's a river.
How do you know that?
Because
It's blue. Okay. So if there's a flood, why does it make sense for it to be a river? Aiden.
Because with on one of the pages it told us facts about it. Because with the people, if they live near rivers, they have to worry about extreme rainfall. Because with the extreme rainfall, if there's lots of rainfall, then soon then the lake can start rising and water can start flooding everything.
That's exactly what we talked about yesterday. We're going to read page 13, 14, and 15 together. And then we're going to have another discussion page like we did yesterday. You'll read the rest of this section in your own section over here like we did yesterday. Okay? Miss Park Station will be continuing those level readers, and mine will be reading out of the Storyworks magazine. All right? Let's start reading. Nayeli, go ahead. We're looking at text features and text. Finger on. We're being good listeners. We're tracking. Our iPad's on the desk. Go.
The Huang He winds its way down from the
Mountainous.
mountainous region in the heart.
That word is region. Let's try that again. Region.
Region in the heart of China, the river then meanders eastward across the vast North China Plain before emptying into the Yellow Sea. The lower section of the river often floods the flat plains, making the
Region.
region a dangerous place to live. However, the flooding brings riches as well as disaster. The floods leave behind a layer of silt, making the plains fertile. The crops grown there feed millions of people.
Pause. So there's a word in the top portion, that very first paragraph. Starts with an M. That word is meanders. The river then meanders eastward across the vast North China Plain. Meanders is a word that reminds me of something to do with a river. I know where it's at. I'm going to use my text with river and the illustration. What could meander mean? But what's going on with the river if it's meandering? Meander's not going to mean straight.
It's like really squiggly.
Okay, squiggly, it's moving. What else could we say about meandering?
Maybe it means keep
Keep moving,
moving.
squiggling, traveling eastward. What else? What do rivers look like? What do they do? Look at the land. How do they travel?
Eastward.
They do travel eastward
To sea.
to the sea.
They keep on going east.
They go in a circle.
They're flowing down the mountains.
They can flow down the mountains. Let's go back to what Daxton said. Tell me more about squiggling.
Like it's going like really crookedy.
Okay, rivers don't really travel straight, right? Trace it with your finger like Miss Parks is doing. Does your finger go straight? No. What does your finger do? Curves, wobbles, squiggles. What else? It does curve. So what could meander mean?
It curves.
It curves. What else?
Wobble.
Wobbly, crooked, chubby. It doesn't go straight. It does not go straight at all, does it? So when we meander, pretend your hand is now a river. How come we do rivers and we squiggle and we move and why do we do that with our arm?
Because rivers don't go straight.
Rivers don't really go straight. So it's going to flood and it's going to expand. And there's another word, erosion. You guys are going to do the same thing with in your small group. Okay? think about meandering when we go to move on, because there's erosion. You have to do the same thing with the word erosion. Let's keep reading down at the bottom with in 1933, shall we? But now I see two other text features. Give me a thumbs up when you know two features you see. What are those called? There's two. I see two of them. Ms. Parks is giving you a hint. With your shoulder partner, B, tell A text feature, and A, tell the other one. Go ahead.
I got text features. No.
They are text features. That's right. Good job, bud.
Captions and pictures.
Good job. High five,
Another word
please.
for picture.
So I'm hearing picture and picture and picture. Did we get the other one? Caption. So we have a picture or an illustration and a caption. Do those go together?
Yes.
Are they important?
Uh-huh.
What do you think this is a picture of?
China.
A place in China, and it was probably the China, what? Chinese flag?
Yes.
China.
What makes you think that?
Probably the.
Oh, because it's 1933.
There you go, the 1933 flood. So the picture matches the words, and the caption then matches the picture. This whole page is all about the same flood. Let's go ahead and turn the page, and we're going to read the sidebar in green. Go ahead.
There were.
Hold on, what do we read first?
There are. What is a flood? There are two basic types of river flood.
But we lived through a flood, and it didn't stay for a long time, and it was a flash flood because it did come in, but it didn't stay. So these flash floods and floods can affect a lot of people, homes and animals and the area around it. Do you have a story?
It's not really kind of a story, but I remember that day.
You remember the day?
Yeah,
You
but
could
my mom
probably
showed
do
me
it.
a photo of the flood, cause there was a flood all around there, and there was cars in the water, the cars were ruined.
I remember the gas station
my-
By
downtown.
Taco Time.
Taco
My-
Time, yeah.
my
gas station.
house didn't get flooded because I live on a mountain.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense to be on the mountain. Then if you're at the bottom of the mountain, you didn't have a very good advantage, did you? So we have a connection to this now, right? At your team, we're going to make groups of 3 again. And when we get those groups of 3, there's jobs at the top. So grab your own paper right now. Put your name at the top. Does everyone have one? Then when you get into a team of 3, do you see the 3 jobs I'm going to talk about? Put your
Yeah.
finger on. What's the first job? You are the
Recorder.
What's the second job? The
Reader.
What's the third job? You look for evidence.
I'll be the reader. Cameron, you're look for evidence.
Why am I always look for evidence? I'm always look for evidence.
You're the recorder. You're the reader. So that means Timmy's looking for evidence.
Okay, I'll read page 13. The Honky flood. The Honky wins its way down from the mountainous region mountainous region.
Let's pick up.
Does it say on
The
the yellow
pictures
right here? No, but it
It shows the ditches with the water inside and dirty.
So we just have the yellow water.
So the evidence shows
Are you getting it to me?
Okay, wrap up your conversation. You have all of your names on your papers. So go back to your own team, hand it to person 1, and we'll finish this conversation tomorrow morning in reading. Tomorrow afternoon, you read.